head down. My wife got it. Okay.
as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8 in Minneapolis, as the Minneapolis Lions getting ready to take on the Wichita Collegiate Spartans here in the state championship in Class 3A. And guys, it's exciting to be here in Hutch at the Sports Arena as Minneapolis comes in as a chance to be the spoiler here and take on Goliath and the Spartan team.
Defending champions in Class 3A, and they've lost only one game this year, and that was to Great Bend, a 5A power in a mid-season tournament. So they are nothing to overlook by any means. You can't overlook anyone and come into the championship game anyway, but they definitely are a team to be well respected and reckoned with.
And a team that everyone has kind of just already put in the bracket as the champion. A lot of people have already said that, well, hey, you know, this TMP team, they can't be beat. And, you know, I hope that serves as motivation. They are a tough team.
There's
and
no doubt.
They will
about it.
platoon, as you told me earlier, and they will run a bunch of people at us. And their big arsenal is what, Dale?
Well, their MO is to full court press the whole game, and they platoon 5 guys in and out. If you look down the scoring there, they've got from field goals just in this tournament, they've got the guys, the leader is 12 field goals, 7, 5, 6, 5, 5, 5, 3, and 3. And that's a lot of guys scoring. Their points off turnovers in these 2 games has been 49. Their points off the bench has been 55. And those are just 2 phenomenal numbers. Where we lead them is at free throws at 32 to 13. We're real close on rebounds, 53 for us, 56 for them. 3-point points, they've got 34, we've got 18. Steals, they've got 25 to our 8. We've got 23 turnovers compared to their 22. So they're just a constant, hard-pressing team. We've had one common opponent, Hoisington. Of course, they're in Hoisington's league. They beat Hoisington 75 to 53. Of course, we lost to Hoisington once by 7 and beat them double figures, I think, the second time. This is going to be a tremendous task for the Lions tonight in this championship game. But I've got confidence the boys are going to come out and give their all, see what they can do.
So you think they compete for the world's fastest 40 minutes?
They probably are. Yes, at least in high school ranks, the state of Kansas for sure. This Lions team has become only the 4th team to win 21 games or more in Minneapolis history. The only other 3 with more wins for them is the 1958-59 team that got second, the 03-04 team that got second, and the 04-05 team that got second in state tournaments. So they're in pretty lofty territory in Lion history, this squad from Minneapolis High School.
And, you know, a team that we came in watching this year thinking that they could do something. I didn't know that they would go this far.
I didn't have any phantom of a dream that they might go this far, and so it's just very, very fulfilling.
Senior leadership is a big key to that, and Logan Weedle, Keegan McCulloch, Tyrell Owens, as well as Charlie Lynn. Those 4 seniors, sorry guys, have played a big part in that. And Keegan McCulloch and Logan Weedle especially. Now Logan had a little setback last night. I talked to his mother about it. He got hammered pretty hard and had stitches in his upper lip on the inside.
I read where they went to the emergency room after the game last night.
Wasn't anything on the outside, but on the inside. And it'll be interesting to see how he reacts. And he's due for a big game. He's kind of struggled. He kind of struggled last night, and he's due for a big game. We've got a new color commentator tonight, Dale.
Yes, we do. Daniel Leach, class of 2002. Currently teaching at St. John's Military School. Is joining us tonight to replace Mike Perry, who's on his way to Minnesota. So welcome, Daniel.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate you being here, Daniel, as I'm going to be against 2 Leaches tonight. So.
Yeah, you ought to be here and him on the other side. That way we can just suck the life out of you.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm on the outside tonight. So, Minneapolis coming in tonight. They will be in their red uniforms. They will be the visiting team. They've been this way for the first 2 games, and it's done them well. and they're going to have a task tonight, and it'll be interesting to see how they come out and react. They've really, in the first two games, was the fact that Minneapolis kind of, after the first quarter, was able to get out to a little bit of a lead and take control.
Yep.
And I have a feeling that's not going to be, it's going to be a lot tougher to do that tonight.
Well, I fully anticipate that the Lions, you know, we've been seeing run ball control all year, usually at the end of a period. I think for them to have a chance against this ball-hawking, full-time pressing team, they're going to have to get the ball down court and eat the clock and go for the good shot. You're going to see a lot of ball control out of the Lions tonight, I am quite sure.
Size has really not been a big issue for us all year, as we've matched up well against teams that are bigger than us, and that is the case again tonight, as they have 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", 6'4", and 6'4", and a 6'3". So they've got some size, they've got some players out there. It'll be interesting to see how, once again, how we react to it.
Of course, some of those bigger kids have not been great athletes, so it
right.
remains to be seen tonight on what their bigger guys can do.
Minneapolis, I like your comment last night, Dale, and that is our homegrown boys against the recruited boys.
Yeah.
Kansas City Christian and the recruited kids from Wichita Collegiate, and that is the case. Minneapolis and Wichita Collegiate, about 2 minutes away from battle tonight.
Wichita Collegiate out of the Mid-Central League. This is their last year for that. They've basically, a lot of the other members have said, we're splitting off. We're done dealing with you. And so they'll be playing against bigger competition most of the time next year. Like I said, they are the defending champion, and I'm not sure what they did the year before. But,
You know, private schools, a lot of times when they're in big metro areas, even if they don't have to recruit, they might have a team that's been playing together for the last 10 or 15 years anyways, because the parents know each other, and maybe they go to the same church, or maybe they're involved in the same organizations, and the kids just play summer ball and winter ball together.
That's a good point. So a lot of it might be the fact that they played together, they played well, or they played for years together. So that is an interesting.
The Minneapolis boys have played Wichita Collegiate one other time in 1993. Coach Eric Shoup was on that squad at Wichita. They lost by 15. So tonight's tonight for Eric's revenge.
Coach Shoup has probably reminded them of that as they will line up to announce the starting lineups as we get ready for this championship matchup between your Minneapolis Lions and the Spartans of Wichita Collegiate. So both squads line up, kind of like we did the first night, as they will go through introductions again. And how awesome is this, Daniel, to be here in the state championship?
Well, I tell you, I remember when I was a part of the band in 2001 when we came and got third place. The environment was just amazing. Feels a lot different as an adult than it did as a kid, but it's still pretty exciting.
I have a presentation here, so not sure what we got here. Waiting for a presentation. As they honor Kansas State High School Athletics Association. As they honor some officials here. Dale, you got to figure this is pretty big deal to put on a tournament.
Oh yeah,
like this, and these guys have worked many years apparently. So was the first gentleman or official?
well, I don't know that they mean refereeing officials, but they're
Well,
they are officials within the Kansas State High School. They're big dudes.
You look at him; he is going to go back to that area. So,
Boy, I tell you, 50 years at anything, you ought to get a plaque.
Principal Jay Macy, Terry Meckel, Tyler Conradi, Jason Kosart, Kyle Egger, manager, John Michael Darrow, Kyler Macy, Andrew Yoxel, Garrett Doherty, Garrett Pounds, senior Tyrell Owens, senior Charlie Lynn. Wichita Collegiate will have theirs. Dr. Combs' name was called as well, but he wasn't out there at the time. I know he's here. They announced the non-starters here for Wichita Collegiate. Have the starters here in a minute. Casey Argamride starts for the Lions as usual, 5'9" junior.
Has hit 100% of his field goals in 2 games.
Bryce Corneo, a 6'3" senior.
That's their leading scorer.
For Minneapolis, Grayson George, a 6'1" junior. Number 5, Ty Fiegel, a 6' senior for the Spartans. For Minneapolis, Logan Weedle, 5'10" senior for the Lions. Number 23, Brett Lemaster, a 6'4" senior for the Spartans. Dylan Crossan for Minneapolis, a 6'3" junior. Number 33, Blake Jablonski, a 6'3" senior. And Minneapolis, Keegan McCulloch, a 6'3" senior for the Lions. For the Spartans, Peter Bailey, is that right, 44, a senior, 6'6" for the Spartans.
Here we go for our 4th championship game in 8 trips to the state finals for the Minneapolis Lions. Can't ask for a whole lot better than that.
Get ready for tonight's matchup. Spartans in their home white as they are the number 1 seed. Minneapolis in their red as they are the number 6 seed. As Minneapolis, though, has played very well throughout this whole tournament. They have shot the ball well, and we're going to need another performance like that tonight, Daniel, for us to come away with the victory.
So, how many times has Shoup been in a championship game now?
This will be his 3rd, 2 as an assistant, 1st as a head coach. This is his 5th state tournament, 4 as an assistant and 1st as head coach. So
4 as a state, 4 as an assistant. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Is this his first head coaching?
Yes.
Was he a head coach before he came back to Minneapolis anywhere?
No, he came from Salina South, I think. He was. Yeah.
Right. My senior year, he actually came from South.
As we get ready to go, the Minneapolis Lions and the Spartans from Collegiate, as we will jump center here as the ball is up and it will go into the hands of Bailey. Bailey will be on the outside. He gets back to the top of the key to number 1, which is Cornel. Cornel on the outside. They drive. Kick it back on the outside. Spin around to the top of the key. Swing pass over the outside to Fiegel. Fiegel drives. Kicks it back out. Back to the outside. Travel. Turnover right there. As Minneapolis forces the turnover, Minneapolis will have the ball.
There they are on the full court press.
Ball goes on the outside to Grayson George. Grayson will bring it down across the timeline as he'll roll it around the outside. Picks up his dribble. Gets it to Dylan Crossan, back to Argenbright. Argenbright on the outside. Picks up his dribble. Back to Grayson George. Grayson takes a deep 3 off the mark. A little deeper, but good look as the ball will go back in the other direction into the hands of Cornel. Cornel back to the top of the key. 2-point shot. 3-point shot they call it by number 33, Jablonski. Argenbright will bring it down. Crosses the timeline. And a turnover right there. Ball comes back the other direction. Another 3-point shot up and off the mark. Steps on the out of bounds line. There goes the other direction as Minneapolis will have the ball. Number 33, Jablonski's taking a couple 3-point shots, and McCulloch will inbounds. Gets it into Argenbright. Argenbright crosses the timeline. Picks up his dribble, back to McCulloch. McCulloch looks inside, goes to Grayson. 3-point shot, top of the key, in and out. And rebounded by Bailey.
Very effective tall timber under there.
Yep. Jablonski on the outside, goes into Bailey. Bailey, swing pass, back on the right corner. On the outside, goes back, drives. And they drive the baseline very efficiently. Puts it in for the Master for the bucket. 5-0. Spartans with the lead. Argenbright on the outside. He'll roll the right-hand side back to Grayson George. Grayson goes to the top of the key, gets it to McCulloch. McCulloch over to Argenbright. Argenbright looks on the outside, swing back to the top of the key to Weedle, back to McCulloch. And there's a foul right there. As they will send, wow, they do send a quick 5 in. I'm going to have a hard time keeping up with their guys here.
A shorter bunch of guys.
Harder to keep track of their 5.
A minute and 8 seconds, but no. 2
minutes.
minutes and 8 seconds went by. Fresh 5.
Fresh 5 comes in. Grayson George will inbounds for the Lions. It's a Logan Weedle shot up off the glass. No good. Rebounded into the hands of number 10, which is Taylor. Taylor goes the other direction. Swing past the top of the key back to Taylor. Taylor drives from the free throw line, and he makes it. They're very efficient.
They've been a lot more efficient on the shots than we have so far.
George back to McCulloch. McCulloch not afraid. There's a turnover right there. And rebounded by Minneapolis. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch will bring it down the other direction. Timeout called by Coach Shute. 7-0. Wichita Collegiate with the lead here. And Coach Shute calls a timeout. Coach just wants to calm them down a little bit. Point out a few things. Minneapolis trails right now 7-0, and we will take a quick break. You're listening to 910 KNA.com as well as Eagle Communications Channel 8.
They're proud to be a part of their great community and strive for excellence in their school curriculum and athletics. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank, with offices in Bennington, Minneapolis, Salina, and Wamego. Member FDIC.
Where do you go when you need groceries? Jeans IGA, of course. Jeans is proud to be a sponsor of Minneapolis sports and hopes that you will encourage your children to be as competitive in the classroom as they are in sports. Jeans IGA, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Minneapolis to inbounds. Grayson George gets it into McCulloch. Back to Argenbright. Argenbright on the outside. Wow. How quick is that? The turnover and the steal goes the other direction for a bucket. That was very quick hands by the Spartans. McCulloch back to Logan Wheel, top the key. Logan rolls the right-hand side, back to McCulloch, back to Grayson George. Grayson picks up his dribble. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch into Argenbright. Argenbright gets his man up in the air and gets a foul on number 45, which is Tracy Clark. Casey will go to the line to shoot 2 here as Spartans get ready to run in a fresh 5.
See if we can get off the schneid here with free throws.
The shot is up and good by Argenbright. Fresh 5 comes in for the Spartans. And it looks like it's their starting lineup again. Second shot is on its way and good. Line's on the scoreboard, 9-2. Spartans with the lead.
Blocking foul called on Argenbright.
Casey steps in to try to get Corneo. Corneo gets around him though. Ball goes into the inside to the big guy as Bailey gets it back to Corneo. Corneo on the outside, swing pass over to number 33, Jablonski. Jablonski back to Corneo. Corneo back on the outside. Tight defense by McCulloch. Corneo guarded by Argenbright.
Good
Pass
help
over to
defense.
Corneo off the mark. And they get their own rebound and the putback. Into Grayson George. Grayson will bring it down across the timeline. Back to McCulloch. Minneapolis yet to get a field goal here. McCulloch takes it all the way into Crossan, and he'll be fouled by Bailey. Nice job by McCulloch to take it right into it.
I'd like to see more moves like that.
It's a good dribble penetration. We've had pretty good luck with that, Daniel, as we've gotten some dribble penetration and some good dish off. You'll see McCulloch do that quite easily, and has done a nice job so far this year. Crossan makes the first one. He'll have another one here. Second one is up and good. Andrew Yoxel getting ready to check in as he comes in for McCulloch. Spartans will bring it down. Corneo with the ball. Guarded by Argenbright. Kicks it back out to Bailey. Bailey, swing pass. Jablonski for 3. Swing pass over to Corneo. Off the mark, and there's an over-the-back call. No. Wow.
That's a good big man.
Bailey does a nice job of not getting the foul. Into Logan Weedle. Back to Argenbright. Back to Yoxel, back to Weedle. They break the press. Weedle on the outside. Swing pass over to Grayson George for 3. Off the mark. And saved by the Spartans. Swing pass back to Corneo. Over on the outside. Shot is up and good. Wow. As 16-4, Spartans in control here with 2:45. Minneapolis yet to find their shot. And wow. They are not not afraid to take some shots. And very quick about it.
We'll be back.
If you're searching for the right insurance to fit your needs, look no further. The Scott Osherman Agency is the place to go. American Family Insurance has been providing security and peace of mind for over 80 years. Call the Scott Osherman Agency in Minneapolis, your American Family Insurance agent.
Todd and Shelley Wilson and Wilson Shields Funeral Home offer affordability and dignity. They know that the Minneapolis Lions will have a great season and want to wish them the best. Wilson Shields Funeral Home, our family serving your family.
Let's make it.
Welcome back to Hutchinson, Kansas, the sports arena. Dan, you just gave me a stat there at the break, and I'll let you share that with the fans.
Well, rebounds-wise, Wichita Collegiate has 7 to our 1. So second chances for them compared to us has been quite a bit.
Ball will be inbounds to Grayson George. Grayson on the outside. as McCulloch checks in for Crossan.
Oh.
And the steal right there.
Big double team there.
And the foul on Argenbright. As big double team in the corner, as Grayson gets caught in the corner, and they double team him, and he can't get around it to pass it off. Another turnover by the Lions. Argenbright with his second foul.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful. It's very early in the half.
Lions yet to get a field goal here. All free throws for their 4 points, but right now, Spartans in control, 18-4, as John Michael Darrow will check in for the Lions as he checks in for Casey Argenbright with 2 fouls. Full court press picked up by the Spartans. It's an into to Grayson George. Grayson back to John Michael. They are so quick at chasing around, come around the outside. Darrow for 3. He's off the mark. Wow. We cannot get a shot so far, guys. Ball on the outside to Jablonski as he drives in. Back to Corneo for 3, and he hits it. Oh my gosh! How many 3-pointers have they been hitting?
They've hit 3 of them so far.
Wow. We just have not been able to get anything going, and we've had quite a few turnovers, which we knew that we would kind of fight that.
All of a sudden, press is getting us. There for quite a while, the press was not being a problem, but here in the last couple minutes, they're ratcheting it up.
Oh, they called a jump ball on that? That's interesting. Spartans get in a fresh 5 as they let the starters play for quite a while there.
They called a foul on Lamaster there.
Yeah, I think they called a foul, yeah. Grayson stepped over the line before he threw it in. That's 3 turnovers on the press here in the last minute, I think.
Yeah. As Owens, Argenbright, and Crossan check in for Darrow, Weedle, and Yoxel. In the corner, 3-point shot is off the mark, rebounded by McCulloch. That's finally we get a rebound right there. McCulloch can bring it down. Back to Argenbright. Casey double teamed quickly. Back to Owens. Owens back to McCulloch. McCulloch looks into Yoxel. Or looks into Crossan. Shot is up and hits off the mark. And we have yet to get a field goal, guys.
Quite different from the first 2 games.
Yeah.
Huh?
Drives in. And stolen by the Lions. Nice job by Minneapolis. Gets the ball up to Argenbright. He's got a whoop behind him. And they are just quick, guys. They are fast and they fly to the ball very quickly. Grayson George to inbounds. 55.3 seconds left in the first quarter. 23-4. Sorry I haven't given the score, but not wanting to. McCulloch out to Argenbright. And foul will be on number 24, which is Burton, a junior for Spartans, his first personal foul. 15 foul. Ball goes into Argenbright. Back to Owens. Owens back to Grayson George. They've done their homework. Grayson George shot up and off the glass and no good. I'd love to get a field goal here in the first quarter, guys.
And he'll go to the line for 2. That's their sixth team foul, so we're in the 1-on-1 from here on. Next free throw, anyway. Oh, he's not hitting free throws either. That's
wow.
he was before tonight. He was 78.6% in the first 2 games.
And he makes the second one. 23-5. Checking in will be Yoxel as well as Weedle for Crossan and George. Ball will come back the other direction in the hands of the Spartans as they set it up with 28 seconds left. The little clock that runs to the very end as they spin it over to the outside. It's in the hands of Taylor. Taylor back over. Taylor with the ball.
They're looking like they're trying to hold it for the last shot of the quarter.
Kind of what we've done. 3-point shot on the outside, off the mark. Oh, nice backside rebound and a putback by Burton. And that is amazing, guys. 25-5 at the end of the first quarter. Wichita Collegiate Spartans go on a big run. Minneapolis cannot get a field goal, and that's
not help matters,
that's not help matters. So we will take a break. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as Eagle Communications Channel
8. Delicious. Let's make it fast. Let's make it a meal from KT's in downtown Minneapolis. KT's, home of the almost world-famous hamburger. KT's wishes the Lions best wishes during the upcoming season.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to central Kansas and will continue the tradition. Minneapolis Raceway will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen. Go Lions!
At Robertson Monument, they believe that supporting community activities are very important. That's why they're sponsors of Lions Sports. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument hopes you make it to as many games as possible.
Welcome back to the Hutchinson Sports Arena. Lions with the ball here to start the second quarter. They've had some good shots. Well, the first couple threes might have been a little long, but
just have not been able to get anything going as the ball will go in at Argenbright. As starters back on the floor for the Spartans. Ball goes into McCulloch. McCulloch into Crossan. There we go. There's a field goal. Yes, right there. Thank you. Dylan Crossan gets a field goal in the paint. First one of the night as Minneapolis cuts a little bit in the lead. And McCulloch goes down. How is that not a charge? Dylan Crossan did a great job of stepping in on that one. Corneo to inbounds for Spartans. It's in the top of the key. Sling pass on the outside. Jablonski goes to the inside. Back on the outside.
stepped on the line.
Turnover. Go back to the Lions. Only their second turnover tonight. Minneapolis has at least 6. Ball will go in at Grayson George. Got a whip behind him. Back to Arnold. Casey brings around the top of the key. Back to McCulloch. Grayson George in the lane. Off the mark. And in the hands of the Spartans. Goes back to the top of the key. In the hands of Bailey. Drives. Off the mark. And rebounded by Arnebright.
Come on, foul.
How is...
Good grief.
Wow.
They're reaching in.
They are letting them play tonight, guys. They're consistent because they're not calling it either way. So a couple times I thought we should have been called for the foul. Haven't been. Another turnover against the Lions. Ball picked up. Gets it inside. Gets it out. Swing past the top of the key to Jablonski. Corneo. And a shooter's roll from three-point range.
That's his second three-pointer so far.
Grayson George on the outside, back to McCulloch. Into Crossan. Back to Weedle. 6:03 left to go, 28-7. And another turnover. There's a walk! He palmed the ball! Of course, the officials weren't quick enough to stay with him, so This team is very fast. Wow. Arkenbright with the ball at the outside. 30-7. Spartans with the lead. Crossing. Back to Weedle. Back to McCulloch. And in by side of tie-up called Minneapolis will turn the ball over.
Well, right before we had those two steals, I was about to say the quarter was looking better already because we had defensive stops with defensive rebounds, and we didn't have very many of those in the first quarter.
No.
30-7 is the score with 5:29 remaining in the second quarter.
And here comes their fresh five. John Michael Darrow and Yoxel check in for the Lions. Back on the outside, gets in the hands of Cornel. Pass over to Jablonski for three. Off the mark, rebounded by Darrow. It's over to Owens. Back to Yoxel. Shot up and good.
All right, Andrew.
Nice job, Andrew Yoxel. Jablonski takes it outside three. Wow. That is just amazing. Ball goes in to Owens.
Don't throw it back.
Out of bounds off of White. It'll stay with Minneapolis. Fresh five comes in for Spartans. Grayson George to inbounds. There we go.
And that goes at the 1-1 for Andrews.
Foul is on number 10, Taylor. Raymond Taylor, his second foul. And at the line will be Andrew Yoxel for a 1-on-1.
Andrew has shot 75% in the tournament on free throws.
Also checking in for the Lions, McCulloch and Weedle check in as Crossan and George, well, take a breather. First shot coming for Andrew. Shot is up and off the mark. McCulloch back comes up with a rebound. That goes the other direction. And the drive in the lane by number 3, Richardson, gets the bucket. McCulloch with the ball, 35-9. Spartans the lead. Weedle crosses the timeline. Back to Owens. Tyrell on the outside. In. Up down pass. Into Darrow is back to McCulloch. Back to Weedle. Darrow to set it up. 3:49 left to go here in the first half. 35-9. Minneapolis could use a field goal right here. Logan Weedle for three. And off, in and out. We've just not hitting anything tonight, guys. We've gone so well all.
Nice block by Yoxel there.
A nice save by the Spartans. And he drives in, misses the shot, and he'll go to the line as number 24, Doug Burton, drives it all the way to the hole. As you know, it is kind of interesting here. Looking down here, the starters are all seniors. The underclassmen, the second five that come in, are 3 juniors, a sophomore, and a freshman. So you're right about that playing together part. 35-9. Spartans with the lead. 3:21 left to go in the first half. We'll take a break. You're listening to 910KNA.com.
Farm Bureau's wide range of insurance and financial products help protect what's most important, your family, auto, home, and other possessions. Call your Farm Bureau Financial Services agent in Minneapolis, George Dressy. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company.
The State Bank of Delphus and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis.
All right. Welcome back.
As at the line will be number 24, Doug Burton, a junior for the Spartans. First shot is up and good. Second shot coming. It is up and it is good as well. Well, I can see why they are a top-ranked team in all classes.
7th in all classes.
John Michael Darrow off the mark. Grayson George with the rebound. He can't get it, but McCullough gets the follow. Nice job, Keegan McCullough, as he gets the putback in for the follow. 37-11. Burton with the ball, back on the outside. Drives. Picks up his dribble. Back to top to keep the Burton. Back to the outside, gets it in the hands of Richardson. Richardson for three. And rebounded by Yoxel. Back to John Michael. Darrow crosses the timeline. Picks up his dribble. Back to Yoxel. Back to Darrow. Into McCullough. Drives in and off the glass. Yoxel with the one-hand catch and putback. That's on the highlight film. Nice job, Andrew Yoxel. Catches it with one hand and puts it right back up with one hand.
The last 4 points have come off offensive rebounds.
And somehow the Spartans come up with it as ball goes on the outside to Richardson. Richardson, the smallest guy on the team for the Spartans. And there's a foul on the inside. Well, I should say that. The other one, he's probably on the bench, and that's Chase Atnip. He's 5'9", but Kevin Richardson is a 5'10" junior. At the free throw line for two-shot foul is number 45, Tracy Clark.
4th team foul on the Lions. First on Darrow.
Argenbright as well as Dylan Crossan check in for McCullough and Weedle. Second shot is up and good. 38-13. Starters come back in for the Spartans. Yoxel inbounds. Gonna have to get in quickly, Andrew. And a turnover.
5-second call. When I heard the whistle, I looked over to see if Shoot could call a timeout, but nope.
Ball goes back to the top of the key, goes into Bailey, back on the outside to Cornel. Oh, nice hands by Yoxel there. Jablonski back to the outside, drives. Swing pass on the outside, he'll drive in. And there's a foul on the floor. Let's see who was called on. Casey Argenbright, that's 3 on Casey. As Logan Weedle checks back in for Argenbright. Ball will go inside. Nice tip around shot.
What an inbounds play there. Yep.
And another turnover.
Tipped
by
off
Lions.
it's tipped off the Spartans.
Was it? Okay.
I'll take it.
Thank you. Yoxel will inbounds for Lions. Gets it in to John Michael. Crossan on the inside, shot up and no good. Crossan gets his rebound, hitting. Misses the putback.
Good rebounding work there.
On the outside, Minneapolis hustles back on defense. Three-point shot on the outside, up and good by Jablonski. Wow. He is hurting us big time. Gets it into Weedle. There's a foul right there.
That was Jablonski's 3rd three-pointer.
Only 3?
Yeah.
McCullough getting ready to check in. Logan Weedle will go to the line for a 1-on-1. Weedle comes in for Yoxel.
47 seconds remaining in the half.
Shot is up and good by Logan. Second shot coming. And it's good as well. 41-15. 46 seconds left to go here in the first half. Swing pass on the outside to Jablonski, back to Corneo. Corneo will set it up. Run some clock here as they swing it over to the outside to Fiegel. Fiegel with the ball, back to Corneo. Back on the outside goes to Jablonski. Back to Corneo. Back to Fiegel. 14 seconds left. Back to Corneo. Corneo. Sit on the inside. Jablonski for another 3. It's off the mark. There's
over the back.
Thank you.
It's going to be another 1-and-1.
With 2.9 seconds left, we get a foul over the back. I believe it was on number 23, Brett Lemaster. Second personal foul. Keegan McCullough at the line.
Keegan has shot 57.1% so far this tournament.
Free throws. Three-point shot up and off the mark as McCullough misses the free throw. And the Spartans get off a shot, but it's no good. 41-15 at the end of the first half as the Spartan team, they are just so quick, and we just haven't been able to hit our shots. That's I think our biggest frustration right there is the fact that we can't hit our shots right now.
Well, some of those threes have been from high in front, a lot higher than I think we sometimes take them. But it hasn't just been 3-pointers that haven't fallen. There's been some 2-pointers too. It's a lot different than the first 2 games.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a break from our game and hear word from our sponsors.
41 to rough first half of basketball. A very well-oiled machine, the Spartans, as Minneapolis struggles from the field as we here at the half.
Sometimes, you know, there's the old saying, you have to see it to believe it. We've heard a lot about the Wichita Collegiate Spartans. One half of basketball convinces me they're pretty darn good.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They are the Goliath, and we're going to have to find 5 smooth stones to take them down here in the second half, because it's going to be a rough second half. Minneapolis is going to have to find a way to claw back in this and to have a chance tonight. Daniel, you got some stats for us?
Yeah. The first quarter we were outscored 25-5. Second quarter ends up 41-15, which means we had a 16-10 score for Collegiate ahead of us. But for rebounds, they out-rebounded us 12-9, and our high-scoring players are Andrew Yoxel with 4 and Dylan Crossan with 4, followed by Casey Eigenbright has 2 and a rebound. Grayson George has 1 with a rebound. Logan Weedle has 2, and Keegan McCullough has 2 with 4 rebounds, a steal, and an assist. Collegiate has a number of players around 2, 3, or 4 points, and one guy with 9. Blake Jablonski has hit 3 3-pointers in the first half. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
you know,
it's just all over the board.
Not only Jablonski, but they've had, I think Cordillo's hit a couple of them. Number 1.
Yes.
He's hit a couple of them.
He has 8 points also, yes.
Just a very well-oiled machine. One of the things, if you look at the quarters, the second quarter, 16-10, they outscored us. That's really not that bad of a deficit. It was the first quarter that really killed us.
Well, yeah, and the leading scorer in the tournament coming into today, Grayson George, has 50, and he has 1 point in the first half. And that's not to say anything bad about Grayson, but that's one reason we are where we are on this score. And I think Keegan has 2. Is that right?
Keegan had 2 points.
Yeah, that's some of that is down low where Keegan normally gets a lot of his points. It's pretty rough sledding right now.
Well, and they've called this very close. They've not. Well, I shouldn't say close. They've called it evenly, but they've not called a lot of the fouls that we've seen in the first 2 games where we've gotten their bigs in trouble by taking it to them. So,
these bigs are quicker.
They are.
These are the best. We played bigs all year long that have not really been a huge problem for us. These guys are a completely different league on the bigs side and just the whole team, period. So, interesting to see what kind of a rally we can make, if possible, here in the second half. I know these Lions have a lot of pride and would like to get as many points on the board as they can.
Well, I expect Shoup told them to keep plugging away. Told George and McCulloch to keep shooting, even though they haven't been making it. When you're slumping, you got to just keep your confidence up and go at it and hope that you get out of it.
Yeah, and we've shot so well in the first 2 contests, and boy, it's just been rough sledding tonight as we've just not been able to find the basket. We've got some inside paints, but I don't know if we had a shot chart. I think we would see our field goals came within the paint.
Yes,
I don't think
definitely.
we had anything outside the paint on field goals. I know we didn't have any threes, and I think most of them were putbacks underneath the
Pretty
basket.
sure Arkenbright's 2 was about the only one that wasn't an offensive rebound. Yeah.
So, about 4:20 away from the start of the second half, Daniel, I'll ask you. I usually ask Mike the same question. What is Minneapolis going to have to do to try to get back into this ballgame?
Well, the success I've seen them have so far is making sure they can get the rebound. I know we're out-rebounded 12-9, but in the second quarter, we actually out-rebounded them. They only had 5 to our 8, so the first quarter killed us. We hardly had any rebounds. We had 1, and our points mostly have come off rebounds for the offensive side, but also our defensive stops. It's so important for us to get those rebounds. So, they're going to have to block out, and if they can limit the turnovers and block out, they might be able to crawl back into it. But they're going to have to start making shots too.
Yeah, and they have to somehow find a way to.
That's the big one. We got to get the ball through the hoop.
And even watching them warm up, guys, here to start the second half.
It's not looking too
not
good,
looking
is it?
too good. Not looking too good. So, I don't know. I know that that it does play a big emotion into the fact that, on paper you look at this Collegiate team, they're a tough team. Somehow they've got to figure out a way to get over that and remember that they've played some tough teams. Maybe not to the level of Collegiate, but they've played some good ball teams this year, and they deserve to be here.
Yes, they do.
They just need to come back and put a second half of basketball together like we've seen the first 2 ball games.
They have
in the tournament
fought their way to this point where they can be in the championship game, and they nothing to hang their heads about in that. It's a shame about in that. It's they've earned their way, earned the right to be here, and
the nerves that they probably came out with in that first quarter. I think that showed in their losses on turnovers and their inability to get the rebounds and play good defense to start. But the second quarter, it looked like they calmed down a little bit. So hopefully they'll be able to carry that into the second half and bring some momentum back their way.
Well, I've seen Grayson hit 2 back-to-back on a warm-up, so let's hope that that's a good sign. And I think that would have been 3.
That one would have gone in.
so
It hadn't been.
about a minute 28 away from the start of the second half, and turnovers, rough estimate here, but Minneapolis had 11. Wichita Collegiate had 2. So very, very rough on the estimate on the turnovers. I may have missed a couple on
I had
those squads. So
I had 4 on Wichita, but a couple of them I marked down was they stole the ball and then they lost control of it and went out of bounds.
I
So
see we're right on the 11 on
those are
Minneapolis,
questionables,
so.
but
Yeah, very
Yeah,
much unofficial.
If they gain possession and they lose it, that's a turnover in my book.
As we get ready to the start of the second half, and I believe the Lions will have the ball. Is that right, Dan?
Yes.
So
The arrow is pointing
arrow's
our
pointing
direction.
our direction, but I didn't remember.
I had to remember which way we were playing last time. So the starting 5 are back on the floor. Grayson George to inbound the ball.
As the Lions will get ready to go here. It's an into McCulloch. McCulloch crosses the timeline back to Argenbright. 41-15 to start the second half. Argenbright with the ball on the outside. It's an into Crossan. Crossan back to Weedle. Back to Grayson George. Grayson pulls around the top of the key. Back to McCulloch. Back over to Argenbright. Casey has it swatted from behind.
Casey's never been afraid to take it down deep. See if he can get her up. Big swat there.
Ball will come back the other, stay with Minneapolis here. Grayson George inbounds. Into Crossan. Crossan high off the glass, no good. Rebounded by the Spartans. Ball comes back the other direction. Rebounded by Grayson George up to Argenbright. Casey tricks it all the way in, and he's going to be fouled. Yeah, nice job, Casey Argenbright. Not afraid to take it all the way in, and he does so. He'll go to the line to shoot 2. Good, quick outlet by Grayson George to Argenbright. As first shot is up and good by Argenbright. Foul was on number 5, which is Fiegel, his second personal. Second shot coming for Argenbright, and it's good. Ball goes on the outside to Corneo. Corneo drives, kicks back on to Jablonski. 3-point shot off the mark, and rebounded by Argenbright. And should have been another foul there. Argenbright gets the rebound though. Casey will bring it down the right-hand side, back to McCulloch. Back to Grayson George. Back to Weedle. Crossan. Goes into McCulloch. Shot in the lane, up and good. Nice job, Keegan McCulloch. 41-19, Lions.
Hey, we got a 4-0 run, guys.
Here, yeah.
that's what we need.
Ball goes on the outside to Corneo. Swing pass. It's a down low to Corneo, back on the outside. Top the key, Jablonski. Jablonski looks at a 3. They back away, passing on the inside to Bailey. Top the key. 3-point shot by the Jablonski. Off the mark, rebounded by Crossan. To Argenbright. Casey looks down low, has one. Grayson George on the outside, back to Crossan.
Well, they've really done a good job of keeping in the face of the Wichita Collegiate players so far.
I agree.
McCulloch into Crossan. Crossan takes it all the way in, up and off the mark, but he'll be fouled. As the foul will be called on Bailey, and Crossan will go to the line. Second personal foul on Bailey. Crossan will go to the line to shoot 2. Shot is up and good. Nice job, Dylan, as he rattles the first one in. Fresh 5 come in, the shorter 5 come in for Well, I say shorter 5. They're
They
still
are, no doubt about it.
6'4" and 6'4". They still have 2 6'4" kids out there. Second shot by Crossan is off the mark.
They look a lot shorter.
We're a long ways up here, Dale.
Yes, we are.
Ball goes back on the outside into the hands of Fox. Tries. Kick out.
Nice.
Stolen, nice
defense.
job.
Grayson George.
Argenbright drives it in, and he'll be fouled. Nice job by Casey Argenbright. Fox's first personal, 13 foul. Grayson George to inbounds. Into McCulloch. Back to Argenbright. 41-20, 5:19 left to go in the third quarter. And they'll be out of bounds off of White. They bailed us out on that one, guys.
Sure did.
As we overthrew that one. Grayson George to inbounds. Into Weedle. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch will get fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot 2.
That's Burton's second.
I didn't see who.
24.
24. McCulloch will go to the line to shoot 2 here. First one's up and good.
And we're back to 20-point deficit.
Well, I tell you, if we can make points at the free throw line like we are, we'll be crawling back real quick.
Second shot is off the mark. Rebounded by the Spartans. Goes back the other direction. Swing pass on the outside. Off the mark. And the putback is up by Burton. Is putback. It's into McCulloch. Back to Grayson George on the free throw line. Shot is off the mark.
The last 2 games, that would have been 2 points.
Watch it, Casey. There's a foul underneath. So fresh 5 is going to come in here for the Spartans. Minneapolis had cut it to a 20-point deficit. It's back to 22, 43-21. Fouls on Keegan McCulloch. At the line will be number 10, Raymond Taylor. First shot is up and off the mark.
For the starters come back in for Collegiate.
Second one coming for Taylor. Shot is up and good. As he makes it. And the starters are back on the floor for the Spartans.
For a pressing team, making that second free throw is doubly important so that they can
Good observation.
come up on the court. So.
Into Grayson George. Grayson crosses the timeline. Back to Weedle, back to McCulloch. Nearly stolen. Minneapolis retains possession. Argenbright on the outside, rolls the right-hand side. Picks up his dribble. Back over to Weedle.
Double foul?
Double foul, you're kidding me.
It's going to be on Crossan and Bailey, it looks like.
So Bailey will have 3. Crossan will have 2 now.
The arrow's pointing their direction. Why are we having the ball? It's a double foul.
Minneapolis had the ball. Only Crossan's first foul. Grayson George for 3. And a foul called on number 23, Lemaster. His 3rd foul. Grayson George.
And for as little as he's played, being off the bench, on and off the bench, 3 fouls is quite a bit.
Collegiate at the line, free throw line.
Well, aggressive teams really, they rack up the fouls anyways because they're trying to steal the ball every chance they got.
And they've got the depth that they can go deep enough into the bench if somebody gets in the foul trouble. It's not that big a deal. Crossing back to Grayson George, into McCulloch. Shot is up and good. Nice job keeping McCullough. Ball will come back the other direction. Jablonski back to Cornel. Cornel on the outside. Jablonski for three, off the mark, and somehow they come up with the rebound. Swing pass on the outside. And Argenbright loses it out of bounds. It'll stay with.
He about had it.
Yeah, they
He
did.
was up in the air to get the initial grab on that ball.
John Michael Darrow checks in for Grayson George. Jablonski for open three, and he hits it. You leave him open that many times, he's going to eventually hit it, and he does right there. And the turnover back the other direction. Another three. Who was that one?
Jablonski. Wasn't it? No, somebody else.
McCullough on the outside, 50 to 23. Just like that, they're back up by 27. Two quick three-pointers. Crossan in trouble. Turns the ball over. And the ball turns it over and takes it right in. And Minneapolis, all their hard work has just kind of gone back away. Back to Logan Weedle. Weedle at the top, back to Argenbright. 2:06 left to go, 52 to 23. Lions have done so well to get back to make within 20, and just like that, they've kind of gone on the big run here.
Turnovers helps.
McCullough in the lane, shot out the mark, rebounded by the Spartans. Oh, wow, nice pass down low to Bailey, right underneath the basket, wide open. Minneapolis comes back the other direction. Argenbright drives in, shot is out. Blocking foul called on the Spartans. Argenbright will go to the line as Jablonski gets called with a foul. 17 foul. Regardless, it's a two shots foul. Spartans will send the fresh five in. Lions will send four fresh bodies in. Argenbright at the line. Shot is up and off the mark. Charlie Lynn checking in for the first time. Andrew Yoxel, Grayson George, as well as Owens will come in a second for the shooter. John Michael stays on the floor. Argenbright makes the second. Minute 30 left to go here in the third quarter. 54 to 24, 30-point lead for the Spartans. Ball on the outside, gets it in the hands of number 3, Richardson. Richardson back to Taylor. Taylor at the top of the key, guarded by Darrow. Swing pass over to Taylor. Back to the direction. Richardson for 3, and he hits a three-pointer. My goodness, guys.
Can't leave anybody open.
You can't. I just am amazed at how quick they get the ball and shoot in transition. Very, very quick ball team. Ball goes into Grayson George. Grayson. Into Yoxel. Back to Grayson for 3. Off the mark.
Grayson can't buy one yet tonight.
Does he still only have 1 point, Grayson?
No three-pointers anyway.
Ball goes back on the outside to Taylor. Taylor with the ball, guarded by Darrow. 32 seconds left in the first half, or the third quarter. Swing pass over to Fox. Fox back to Taylor.
To answer your question, Grayson George still has 1 point.
1 point. Taylor back to Fox. Fox on the outside. outside. Shot is up and good by number 3.
No, he stepped in. Deuce.
Yeah, he stepped in. He didn't hit a 3, but he still hit the bucket. 59-24. Minneapolis had a nice start there to the third quarter, but boy, they quickly went on scoring 18 points there to outscore us 18-9. Is that right?
Right.
18-9. Wow. At the end of the third quarter, 59-24. This Spartan team on their way to state champion.
McCulloch had 5 points in that quarter.
We'll be back after this word from our sponsors.
Bennington State Bank is proud to sponsor the Minneapolis Lions this season. They're proud to be a part of their great community and strive for excellence in their school curriculum and athletics. Bennington State Bank, your trusted hometown bank, with offices in Bennington, Minneapolis, Salina, and Wamego. Member FDIC.
Where do you go when you need groceries? Jeans IGA, of course. Jeans is proud to be a sponsor of Minneapolis sports and hopes that you will encourage your children to be as competitive in the classroom as they are in sports. Jeans IGA, a proud sponsor of today's game.
Wichita Collegiate will have possession here to begin the final stanza.
And their starters back in for the Lions. It is Argenbright, Weedle, McCulloch, Owens, and Crossan. Ball will go into the hands of Corneo. Corneo on the outside, guarded by Argenbright. Swing pass on the outside, back to Corneo, back to Jablonski. Jablonski swing pass on the outside, goes in the hands of Lemaster. Lemaster gets it back on the outside, rolls around the right side, drives. Jablonski, he'll drive in, steps out of bounds. So, yep.
He was out of bounds, came in, can't do that.
As the inbounds will go into the hands of Argenbright. Argenbright will pull down the right-hand side, crosses the timeline, gets it to Weedle. Weedle into McCulloch. McCulloch gets his man in the air, shot up and off the mark. Crossan with the rebound, and he's going to get called to travel. Nice rebound by Dylan Crossan right there, guys, but just shuffled his feet one too many times and go back the other direction. Corneo on the outside, guarded by Argenbright. Swing pass, and there's going to be a foul by McCulloch.
Third team foul.
Third personal on Keegan. Ball will be inbounds to number 5, Fiegel. Corneo on the right-hand side, picks up his dribble. It's back over, cross court to the Jablonski. Rebound. How is...
They just ripped that right out of Dylan's hand
right
as
out
he
of
was
Dylan's
looking
hands.
somebody to pass it to.
Dylan had it, and they just ripped it right out of his hand.
Laid it in.
61-24. Argenbright with the ball at the top of the key. Into Crossan. Into McCulloch. Rebounded by Crossan, and he misses it. Oh, wow. That just shows our night right there. As we get the offensive rebound and the miss.
Tipped out by Owens.
Charlie Ring getting ready to come in. He checks in for Crossan. It's into Argenbright. A little softer press. It's not really it's still a press, but not nearly what it was. And the turnover. Well, even with the soft press, we have not been able to.
Their defense is just suffocating.
Yep. Jablonski for 3, off the mark, rebounded by Charlie Lynn. It's into the hands of Argenbright. Casey brings it down across the timeline. Back to Logan Weedle. Back to Argenbright. Argenbright puts it up and good. Nice job, Casey Argenbright. Casey does a great job driving the baseline, takes it to the bigs, and he gets the bucket. Fiegel's third foul. Grace Grayson George will check in for Logan Weedle. Argenbright at the line will shoot one here. And it's good. 61-27. Collegiate with the lead. 5:41 left to go. Ball comes back the other direction into the hands of number 5, Fiegel. Fiegel back to Corneo. Corneo gets it up. A master, 6'4". That's the first dunk we have had on us all year, and we get it right. So, Grayson George on the outside. Back to Charlie Lynn. Charlie Lynn back to Owens. And McCulloch.
Oh, no look pass into the hands of the Spartans.
Wow, that was a big time dunk, guys. Caught it in the air and put it down. Master on the outside. Ball goes back to Cornel, back to Jablonski for 3. In and out, over the back. No call, and
the tip in, and they call timeout, leading 65-27. 4:29 remaining.
This one's a tough one to call, guys.
Yes, it is. We'll be back.
If you're searching for the right insurance to fit your needs, look no further. The Scott Osherman Agency is the place to go. American Family Insurance has been providing security and peace of mind for over 80 years. Call the Scott Osherman Agency in Minneapolis, your American Family Insurance agent.
Todd and Shelley Wilson and Wilson Shields Funeral Home offer affordability and dignity. They know that the Minneapolis Lions will have a great season and want to wish them the best. Wilson Shields Funeral Home, our family serving your family.
Welcome back to Hutchinson, Kansas Sports Arena. Darrell on the outside. Grayson George with the ball. Sends to Charlie Lynn, rolls around and back to the outside, back to Owens, back to John Michael. Yeah, it goes into Lynn, then back to Darrow. Darrow picks up his dribble. Back to Grayson George. Back to Owens. Back to Darrow. Into Charlie Lynn. Back to Grayson for 3. And it's off the mark. I just cannot believe Grayson has been that cold tonight. He's been so good all year and just has really struggled tonight. I don't know he's had that bad a shooting night all year. He usually comes out of it sometimes. 65-27. Ball goes back on the outside. As Spartans will just run a little clock. They go on the inside. Kick it back on the outside. 3-point shot is up and good.
That boy's hot.
Richardson for 3. Darrell will come back the other direction. Owens goes into Lynn. Back to Darrow. Back to McCulloch. McCulloch can't hit his reverse layup on the inside. And a timeout called by the Spartans.
They put in some substitutes that haven't seen any game time yet. We'll be back.
Let's make it delicious. Let's make it fast. Let's make it a meal from KT's in downtown Minneapolis. KT's, home of the almost world-famous hamburger. KT's wishes the Lions best wishes during the upcoming season.
It's fast, it's furious, and it's fun. It's Minneapolis Raceway. Minneapolis Raceway has brought you exciting races to Central Kansas and will continue the tradition. Minneapolis Raceway will give you and your family some of the most exciting races ever seen.
Welcome back to Hutchinson, Kansas Sports Arena, as checking in for the first time is Chase Atnip and
Keenan Tisdale.
So. Shot is up and good by number 45, Baylor. So, ball's in the other direction to Grayson George on the free through line. Shot is up and off the mark.
I'm really surprised they didn't call a foul on that. He got pushed right after he shot it. But
ball comes back the other direction. Drives in.
Blocked by McCullough. Off
Nice
the
hands
Spartan.
by Owen.
Oh,
That's pretty darn close. Logan Weedle checks in.
2:10 to go. 70-27 in favor of the Spartans.
Ball back in the hands of Spartans on the outside. Atnip on the outside. Swing pass over. Nice pass.
What work?
Nice pass to Fox. Fox, a freshman. That's kind of surprising.
Oh,
that
is
they
he?
have a freshman on this team. Logan Weedle for three. There we go. Finally, thank you,
We
Logan.
hit a three, huh?
We got a three. Logan Weedle hits one.
We got to 30 points.
So, I think they've only allowed 30, 36, and 30. Or are 30 tonight. So. Adnip drives. And the foul by Weedle. As checking in, the lines will be Garrett Doherty, Garrett Pounds, Kyler Macy, Andrew Yoxel.
We're down to, what, a minute 14 remaining.
As an ovation goes out to the starters. They've taken us a long way tonight, or this year. Ball goes back the other direction into the hands of Atnip. Atnip drives. Rebounded by Garrett Doherty. Garrett will bring it down. Crosses the timeline into Kyler Macy. Macy back to Yoxel. Yoxel backward to Darrow. Darrow drives. Takes a shot. Up and good. Nice shot by Darrow. 45 seconds left to go. 72 to 32. All into the hands of number 3, which is Richardson. Richardson will back it off. I'll just let this clock run down. Better not dribble, buddy. I guess he still has no dribble.
I'm going to go down and get the trophy presentation done.
So, okay. Well, Daniel now keep it here as Minneapolis is going to be the second place recipient in the state tournament as they lose to a very, very, very good team in the Spartans, Wichita Collegiate. So we will go ahead and take a break in just a second if I get up here to do that. And we will have the trophy presentation in just a second. Minneapolis comes up short tonight, 72 to 32, as we will be back. You're listening to 910KNA.com as well as Eagle Communication Channel 8.
Go Lions!
At Robertson Monument, they believe that supporting community activities are very important. That's why they're sponsors of Lions Sports. Minneapolis is a great town to live in, and Robertson Monument hopes you make it to as many games as possible.
Farm Bureau's wide range of insurance and financial products help protect what's most important, your family, auto, home, and other possessions. Call your Farm Bureau Financial Services agent in Minneapolis, George Dressy. Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company.
The State Bank of Delphus and the Ottawa County Bank in Minneapolis are locally owned community banks, committed to making your banking experience as easy and personal as possible. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
C&R Plating would like to take this time to thank their many friends and customers for making their business what it is today. Kevin also wants to wish the Minneapolis Lions a great season. C&R Plating, a Lions sports backer.
Welcome back to Hutchins, Kansas, as we give give out the trophy and medal presentation here to our Minneapolis Lions as Dale has gone to the floor to try to get this on tape as Casey Argenbright receives his second place medal. John Michael Darrow receives his medal. Kyler Macy, Minneapolis junior, receives his medal. Andrew Yoxel, sophomore for the Lions, receives his medal. Grayson George, a rough night tonight, receives his medal, but hats off to Grayson. Garrett Doherty, number 20, a junior for the Lions. 23, Logan Weedle, we're going to miss you, Logan, a senior for the Lions. Garrett Pounds, a junior for the Lions. Tyrell Owens, another senior for the Lions. Tyrell, we're going to miss you as well, buddy. Number 33, junior Dylan Crossan. Number 34, senior Keegan McCullough. Keegan, hats off to you, buddy. We're going to miss you as well, man. 42, senior Charlie Lynn. And Charlie, you've added a lot to this team, and we're going to miss you as well, buddy. Coach Eric Shoup. Shoup, great job this year for the Lions. Minneapolis Lions, second place trophy to the Minneapolis Lions. And guys, we're very proud of you guys, and hats off to you guys. You guys had a great year. To make it to the state championship game, and hats off to this squad. And we're very proud of you guys. So hats off to the Minneapolis Lions as they receive their second place trophy and medals. And hats off to them. I'm proud of them as Dale Leach down there to get this on tape. Daniel, you have some stats yet for us, buddy?
Yeah, I'm still working on the other teams, but our quarter breakdown was 5 points, 10 points in the second quarter, 9 points in the third, and 8 in the fourth. That kept us pretty low on points the whole night. Our scoring leader was Casey Argenbright with 8. Then Keegan McCullough with 7. Logan Weedle had 5. Dylan Crossan had 5. Andrew Yoxel had 4. John Darrow had 2. And Grayson George ended with 1. We had 18 rebounds. Keegan McCullough had 4 rebounds, a steal, a block, and an assist. Crossan had 5 rebounds. Doherty had a rebound. George had 2 rebounds and a steal. Yoxel had 2 rebounds and a block. And Darrow had 2 rebounds, and Argenbright came in with 1. Rough night for the Lions, but they played hard and did what they could. As you'd said earlier, the Collegiate had held the other teams to around the same score.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was 36 and 30, and then 32 tonight, and they did. So.
The scoring leaders, I don't have rebounds and steals and blocks for the Collegiate totaled up, but the scoring leaders for Collegiate was Jablonski with 12, Corneo with 10, Richardson with 10, Figo with 8, Lamaster with 8, Burton with 6, Bailey with 6, Clark with 5, Taylor with 5, and then they had Fox with 2. That's a lot of points around the board.
Oh, you know? My gosh, yeah. Every one of their kids scored except for 1.
Yeah,
2.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 2 that sit on the bench the entire game.
Right, until the end of the fourth, yeah.
So, the Minneapolis, hats off to it, absolutely. You hate to go out like this with a 40-point loss, but hats off to this squad from Minneapolis. You can't say enough about Minneapolis to get to state, to get to the to see second place.
As I told them there, as I was exiting the floor, I gave them the thumbs up, said, "You guys are number one, in our book."
Yeah.
So,
great group of kids, great sportsmanship, a great team. Coach Shoup and Conradi as well and Cosart did a great job this year. They brought this team so far. If you look at the last 3 years, how far we've come, Dale.
They were winning 4 and 5 games a year. The seniors, their sophomore and freshman years, they went 500 at 11-11. Last year and this year, they go 21-5, fourth highest winning total in Minneapolis school history in 106 years. So,
and we're gonna terribly miss our seniors.
Oh yes.
We're gonna terribly miss our seniors, but we've got a strong nucleus back next year.
And, we just let's face it, we played out of our league tonight, as everybody else in Class 3A has. This team has won by an average of 33 points in Class 3A. First 3A competition, 33 points, and I think they might have put a little emphasis on that tonight, in the championship game. So, I know that hurts the guys to lose like this, and they've been such a good team all year, but I just have to realize what they were dealing against there, and sometimes you just got to take your lumps and move on.
Yeah, you do, and I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of the boys. They, early in the year you kept looking at the girls, and the girls had an outstanding season. The boys really meshed, and they came alive, and they had a great sub-state. They had a great first 2 rounds of state here, and just absolutely phenomenal shooting percentage. And they ran into an extremely strong starting senior 5 for them, and then
they have been laying waste to everybody they played this year.
Yeah.
I would just I don't know how it can be done, but I'd like to see the High School Activity Association somehow even the playing field when it comes to the private schools out of the metro areas. It just doesn't seem quite right, but I don't know how to fix it. So doesn't do any good. Sit around crying about it.
No. Hats off to our Lions. I'm proud of them.
Thanks for a great season, guys.
Yeah.
And Coach Shoup and Conradi and what's the other one?
Cosart. Yeah. Hats off to our coaches. Love you guys and love you boys, and thank you guys for a great season. It has been an absolute pleasure. As 26 games, Dale, you've hit all 26. I've hit 25. Mike hit 24. I think 23. But we've seen a lot of basketball. Daniel, it's great to have you here tonight.
Yes, thanks for filling in.
I hate to see it end like this, but congratulations to our Minneapolis Lions with a second-place trophy.
Our
We're proud of you.
third second-place trophy in this decade.
Yep.
That's nothing to
That's impressive.
sneeze at.
Yeah, and we're very proud of you boys.
That's great.
Very proud of you guys. So we will go ahead and finish it out here, Dale.
Yep.
So just another exciting season of basketball. We were proud to bring it to